Hello, my name is Chris England. I'm a legislator from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I'm also chair of the Alabama Democratic Party. And I want to tell you a few stories. Many years ago, when I was a law student at the University of Alabama, I was traveling to Houston to visit someone. On my trip, I was traveling through Lake Charles, Louisiana. I got a late start, so it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It was late. And I'm on my way. I saw a trooper ahead of me, good distance ahead of me. So I went ahead and slowed down, hit the speed limit just to make sure that I wasn't going to get pulled over. So I pass him, we make eye contact. I look into the car, he sees me, I see him, and I didn't think anything of it because I wasn't speeding. Well, anyway, a couple minutes later, car pulls up behind me, lights and sirens, pulls me over. I pull over, and before I know it, officer's at my window. He's got his gun drawn, and he's demanding that I get out of the car. So I'm asking what's going on, what's wrong, what's going on. He won't tell me. He just says, get out of the car, get out of the car. So I get out of the car, and as soon as I do, he grabs me, puts me in handcuffs, puts me up against the car, and starts asking what I'm doing, where I'm going, why am I out so late. And I'm trying to answer the questions, but I guess I wasn't doing it quickly enough, so he then kind of pushes me aside and sits me on like the grassy area right behind the car, and he goes and he proceeds to search it. He goes through it. Didn't find anything on me, and after talking about Alabama and LSU football for about 15 minutes, he decides that I guess I must be okay, and he takes the handcuffs off of me, and then tells me that the reason that he stopped me was because I was driving too slow. So pulled out of the car, put in handcuffs, at gunpoint, car search for driving too slow. But it's not one of said many stories. I'll just give you a couple more. As a lawyer, I was in court one day, and I was talking to the other lawyers. It was before a criminal arraignment docket, and I was in a suit. I was the only black lawyer there, but we were all having kind of conversations. And while that conversation was going on, the judge comes out, everybody stops for a second, and he calls me up to the bench. And he says, if you're here for court today, I need you to sit in back and wait for your attorney. One of the bailiffs had to come up and say, that's the prosecutor. As a state representative, I was actually at a meeting with a bunch of people, big room, and before it started, we were kind of just milling around, kind of talking, and I was in a suit, looked official, I guess. So while I was talking to several people, a security guard comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder and says, I need you to step outside. So when I go outside with him, I say, how you doing? What can I do for you? And he starts asking me, why are you here? Like, what's your purpose? And I said, I'm here for the meeting. And he said, well, do you have any ID on you? Just want to make sure you're in the right place. So at this point, I get a little offended because I'm not going to give him my ID at this point. I was told to be here, and we argue for a minute. It wasn't until one of the white attendants at the meeting comes outside and notices that there's some sort of issue that he essentially has to vouch for me before I'm allowed back in. So the security guard wasn't satisfied that I was supposed to be there until one of my white counterparts came outside, told him who I was, and told him I was supposed to be in the meeting. Now, the reason why I'm telling you these stories isn't because it makes me special or unique or different. Unfortunately, it makes me one and the same. Many people who look like me suffer through some of the same situations and are humiliated just because of the color of their skin. I'm also telling you this story because I'm inviting you to tell yours. I want you to do the same thing that I did. I want you to tell your story, hashtag it, tell your story, and put it on your social media. If you don't have a story, tell someone else's, or tell a story that you personally witnessed that changed your perspective and made you committed to the struggle for equality and justice. Now, the reason why I want you to do this is because I want this to create a conversation. I think it's going to require our experiences, our shared experiences, to create those uncomfortable conversations so that we can actually begin to change things. I also want the people that are close to you to hear your story so they can understand your experiences. So again, tell your story. Shoot a video, post it on your social media, hashtag it, tell your story, and I want people to listen, because through these conversations, I hope we can heal. Thank you for listening.